Who doesn't want to talk about pizza?
Everybody
It
loves pizza.
Everybody loves. I think so. I think everyone loves pizza. And who wouldn't love pizza if you were just walking through the airport or going through a hospital, someplace where there's high volume, and you look over and you see this really cool, self-contained, robotic setup, which is it's got to be something like this has got to catch everyone's attention. And you walk up, boom, you got yourself an instant fresh pizza. I love it. This is a fantastic idea, Napalm. How long has it taken you guys to start bringing this concept to being practical and deployment?
So we started a company almost to the date 5 years ago. And when we first started, we created something we called Rowalk, a robotic walk system. So think of this as Asian noodle bowls, anything like pad thai, green curry, and rice. We did this initially because, in my experience, and I've done multiple cuisines, multiple chain restaurants, expanded them globally, the hardest thing to automate for me was Asian food. If you think about the variability of ingredients, right? You have sloppy noodles, you have flat snow peas, you have chunks of broccoli. How do you measure all these things? We had to invent our own sensor to be able to do these things. So we thought internally that if we can automate Asian cuisine, we can do anything. And that led us to the pizza system that we created. The machine from start to finish took us about a year and a half. And we deployed this in June earlier this year in the airport in Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, our company's been around for 5 years. Pizza process for about a year and a half. Went live in June.
Well, interesting. You're a finance guy. You spent like 5 years in finance, and then you said, "That's it, I'm out." And
Yeah.
now you have that's like early 2000s. You've never looked back. So you really are a food guy now at heart.
Well, yeah. So I have a theory that every human being has at some point thought about starting a restaurant or investing in a restaurant. And I'm one of the stupid people that actually left my job and did exactly that. Yes, I started my career
The
in investment
smart ones
banking.
don't do it. The smart ones like, that's
No,
too hard.
you're young and you're naive, and you say, "Hey,
That's
why
it.
do I want a steady paycheck? I'd rather clean toilets for a living." So yes, I started investment banking on Wall Street. Lived in San Francisco, New York, London, England, and then I said, "Hey, you know what? I want to be in the restaurant business. I want to start a chain of restaurants." So I moved to Canada, to Toronto, and got my journey started over 20 years ago. And I've been an entrepreneur. I've been a public company CEO. I've expanded all kinds of chains all over the world. And sort of like the mafia, when you get in, you can't really get back out.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The hooks.
I've been
Well,
trying to get out of this business, but I can't.
well, and you've gone even further now. Now you've gotten into AI and robotics and automation. So you've gone from maybe wanting to get out to now you're at the forefront of
Right.
a new revolution of food. You said something to me. You said a couple things to me earlier. One, that you hate the robotic arm. What? Because to me, if you're walking through the airport and you
Yeah.
see this fantastic machine, you
Yeah.
know, doing something, right now it's clever, right? I mean, it's going to draw people over. What is it though, from your point of view, that it's more hype maybe than it's worth?
It's very simple technology, right? When you compare it to a human arm is like 1,000 times more effective. It can do many more things. It can touch and feel. It's more dexterous. And so, when the principal technology for automation is a robotic arm, that means you don't have a very strong sense of what needs to be accomplished. Because if all you're doing is replicating the movement of a human arm, you're not really pushing the boundaries of robotics and automation. You're doing a very minimal level of technology implementation, probably inside an existing kitchen, using equipment that's designed for human beings. So you're really limiting the range of what automation can do if your principal source of technology is a robotic arm.
Oh, that's an interesting take. So you feel like you're just replicating what humans can do,
Right.
and therefore you've really not innovated beyond the capabilities of an arm.
Yeah, so you think about the kitchens we have in restaurants today. They're designed for human beings. The average human being, let's say 5 feet 4 inches. Let's design a kitchen so they can work efficiently and not hurt themselves, right? So when we take this kitchen and say, "Hey, man, I want to automate a section of this kitchen, yes, it's a noble cause. But are you truly pushing the boundaries? Like if my average human being was 10 feet tall, four heads, 18 arms, my kitchens would look different, right? So how about I automate that kitchen because it's far more effective? So what we did as a company is stop looking at human beings, human kitchens as inspiration. Look at first principles. Here's the raw materials. Here's what the finished product needs to look like. Let's get to working. Let's push the boundaries of automation, robotics, AI, go from A to B in the most efficient way possible, not taking inspiration from what we already have in the market.
For those that don't understand, can you explain first principles? Just give us an overview for the way you applied it and how it made sense for you.
Sure. So if you look at how food gets dispensed, how food gets cooked, how food gets plated, there's some process of physics that needs to be applied, right? We need to heat food, we need to mix it in a certain way, we need to dispense things in a certain way. So when we shift away from looking at how a human being would do it, we can look at 10 different ways of doing it more efficiently. We can use gravity, for example. We can have things vertically lined up like a human kitchen would never think about doing. We can use equipment that you'd never use in a human kitchen, like lasers to cut pizzas. So when we start looking at all the ways to heat things, cook things, dispense things, we are not limited to what happens in the food business. So my team of engineers has never been inside a human kitchen, and they are not allowed to go because there's nothing to learn there.
Oh, wow, that's a radical stance because you don't want their thinking tainted at all.
Yes. That's the idea, and that's how you start pushing boundaries, right? You're not taking inspiration from the lowest or the weakest link. You're just broadening your mind. This is what we did in the automotive industry. That's how things happen in that industry. Like just open up your minds. We're performing a task. Let's get this focus on the task as opposed to what's been done by humans in the past.
Has that been a hindrance for the engineers who are maybe linear thinking and you're trying to get them to think laterally?
Well, the good news is that because they weren't tainted by restaurant kitchen, they weren't looking at how things are normally done. They were looking at, hey, how do we cool things? We don't have to use a refrigerator. There's many different ways of cooling things, right? So how do we apply that? Because it needs to be more efficient. It needs to be faster. It needs to be this particular size. It needs to be mounted here. So when we're looking from first principles, you're looking at the process. You're not looking at existing mechanisms. So it was actually very liberating for them. Yes, we do have inspiration from a kitchen, and that's where I come in. I've done so many different
That's
cuisine
your
types.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I've done Asian food, I've done steakhouses, I've done vegan chains. I can cross pollinate. Saying, you know what, we clumped rice this way in the sushi concept, and maybe we can apply that over here. So I
right.
step in
Give
based
them a
on my
little.
experience. Yes, exactly. So yes, there is. I wouldn't say that there's no inspiration from the kitchen, from human kitchens, but that's my job. I feed information based on my multi cuisine background, so that can be a supportive process, but it's not the principal process.
So, talk me through and the listener through what the user experience is like. What's it like for the customer when they walk up and experience this for the first time? And by the way, this is something that you and I have talked about. I've seen your operation, but is there a different name for the consumer when they see the pizza joint? What's the
Yeah, so that's very important. By the way, I look at some people in our space. They're selling a robo pizza, robo burger, and the reality is, restaurants are tricky, and nobody knows what it takes to make a successful restaurant chain. People that have done it successfully once have been unable to replicate that success a second time. So there's that whole, I don't know what it takes to build a restaurant brand, but when you have something that's established, let's double down on that. So for us, we are not creating a pizza brand. I think that's a tall order for me to say I'm going to create something from scratch and everybody's going to love it. But we're going to take something that's iconic already and automate that. So in our case, it's Donato's Pizza. For people that don't know Donato's Pizza, they used to be owned by McDonald's. McDonald's at one point bought the number one brands in every category: Donato's Pizza, Chipotle, Pret a Manger. So this is considered the best tasting pizza chain in the United States. And for us, we're selling the best food. We're not selling machines. Nobody cares about robots. People care about Donato's Pizza. So when you
right?
come to a machine, you see Donato's Pizza, You recognize the brand. It's in Columbus, Ohio. It's your favorite brand. Buy Appatronics. So we're Buy Appatronics. We automate the
I
process,
see.
but it's the exact same pizza you would get at a Donato store. So that doesn't change. What changes is who makes it.
Yeah, that's smart. What you've done is you've just kind of changed the back of the house, the way it's thought about and delivered in this new style. And to your point, uh, it's very difficult to start and launch a new brand. It's
So
it's it's a money pit, right? You talk to anyone in marketing,
yeah,
it's just money down the drain.
absolutely. Nobody knows what it takes. You might have the best recipe for lasagna. Doesn't mean you're going to run a successful
Does it?
restaurant.
Exactly. And that's to your point, going all the way back, is that everyone kind of has this idea, well, I'd love to start,
Yeah,
a restaurant because they have a family recipe everyone likes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But wait till you go and try to commercialize it. Wait till you go down and find out, yet you have to make it, 50x size.
yeah,
And
yeah.
your mixers, everything is totally different. It's not
And
for the faint
worse,
of heart.
it's a difficult business, right? You wake up in the morning, you're not thinking about making food. You're about, hey, my equipment isn't working, my employee didn't show up, I have a flood in my basement. There's a million headaches. I have to do my invoicing, I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh, by the way, I have to also cook if I have the time, and hope that customers show
And
up.
attract customer. Yes. And hope the customer shows up. Yes. It is.
So you talked about the customer journey, right?
No,
So
sorry, yeah. So tell us about that. What's it like for them when they show up? So let's say in an airport. Yeah.
correct. So it's in Terminal B before security, so everybody walking by can come in. So when you walking up Terminal B, all of a sudden you see this big sort of facade. I hate using the word vending machine, but let's say a big vending machine in front of you. And the first thing you see is Donato's Pizza. There's some nice language. There's some nice graphics, and then you come closer, you see these windows, and through the windows you can see what's happening on the inside. So yes, there is a robotic arm there, but there's many other pieces of equipment. Robotic arms are just moving the process along. They're not really contributing anything more than that. So when you look at that, now you're seeing the inside of a kitchen that's fully automated. There's a touch screen there. You can order food. There's a QR code. You can order food from your own phone. So you order food like you typically would in any restaurant. You
Right.
pick your ingredients. You say, okay, I want this. And right now it's only one size. It's a 10-inch pizza. And then you put your credit card and you're done. And all of a sudden the process starts. So step one is you can see the dough being moved into another machine. Then the sauce is dropped on the machine. By the way, so this is Donato's Pizza. They have a special way of making pizza. They call it edge to edge. That means the sauce, the pepperoni, the cheese goes to the very edge of the pizza. Medium-sized pizza has between 50 to 54 slices of pepperoni. So it's a very
Wait, say that again.
calibrated,
50 to 54.
yeah, pieces of
Talk about
pepperoni.
a
Yeah.
meat lovers.
Oh yeah, it's totally spread out. That's a signature look, and that's I think the machine also says edge to
I
edge.
have
That's
seen those.
trademarked.
Yeah, yeah.
Edge to edge goes cutting edge. A little bit of a cheesy line, but it kind of fits.
And a cheesy line.
Oh,
You're on it. Yo, you look
I'm
at
on a
you. You
roll. I'm on a
you
roll.
are on a roll. You are. Woo.
So
Well,
then you see the sauce being dropped and you see the cheese being dispensed. Then in real time, those pepperoni sticks that are getting sliced at the same time they're being placed on the right part of the pizza.
oh, that's fresh. I love that.
Yeah, so it's
Yes,
freshly
you see them
sliced.
being.
Yeah, it's been sliced and placed at the same time. It takes about 10 seconds to do all that. And then it goes what we call is a Romano shaker. It's got oregano and Romano cheese. It shakes that's something cool the robot arm does. It shakes that mixture on top of the pizza.
Yeah.
Then you see it going into this conveyor oven. The moment the pizza goes in the oven shuts down. It's a closed cavity. Takes about 2 minutes, 20 seconds to bake the pizza. Then it comes out and then it goes into a cutting station. The blades cut the pizza. Donatos is something called the party cut. So it's basically rectangular cuts as opposed to the big triangle cuts.
Yeah.
That's a signature look. And they were pretty adamant that this needs to be done the Donatos way. So we did that. Then the pizza gets placed in a box. It goes into the back of a locker. The moment it gets there, you get a text saying your food's ready in locker number 4. Just scan your QR code and pick up your pizza. You pick up the pizza. There's a condiment station there if you want to put extra stuff in it. Take some napkins, and then you're on your way. So in many ways, identical journey, except you do have the front view access to the entire process. And then you pick up your stuff and it's ready for you. In some cases, in the airport, I didn't realize a lot of people loved us because many employees get 20 minutes for lunch, By the time they come out, stand in the back of a line, 20 minutes is done. So they love the fact they can
It's a
order
long
ahead.
line for a
Yeah,
lot of
order
people.
ahead.
Oh, so they're ordering ahead now.
Or they save the QR code on their phone. So by the time they get there, the pizza is ready. Now they have 20 minutes to enjoy it.
That I tell you, that's clever. What do you think the future holds for this technology, the way you're deploying it? Is this something that is tied to Donato's Pizza, or is this something that you can kind of airlift and take to other markets, other brands? What's the plan? What do you kind of see in the future for this?
So, we look at automating and selling food. We want to sell the best food. We actually don't even sell the machine. We do a revenue share with our partners. So, this machine is managed by a company called HMS Host, recently renamed to Avolta. It's the world's largest airport concessionaire. I think it's owned by the Benetton family in Italy. They're all over the world. So, with a partner like HMS Host, we can be in every airport across the globe. Then there's companies like Compass, Sodexo, Aramark. They manage hospitals, universities, office towers. We like these partners because they already have feet on the ground. They already have supply chains worked in. So when we drop our machine in these buildings, all we ask is, hey, you have 100 employees at the airport. I need about 4 to 5 hours of one of your employees per day to service the machine. When the machine says running low on broccoli, please send someone over to refill. Day-to-day maintenance. Some things need to be cleaned end of the night, all that kind of stuff. So very simple stuff, nothing that requires any kind of a new or engineering degree. It's just what they do: refill ingredients, clean the filters, simple stuff. And the way we've looked at our business plan is we each of our machines, by the way, caters to a specific kind of food. You can pretty much only make pizzas in this machine. Our first machine was making Asian food, like I said, so that makes anything that's noodle and rice based dishes. A third machine that we just kicked off in October will make burrito bowls. Think of this like a Chipotle's burrito bowl. That's exactly what this machine is going to do. Then there's a cookie concept in the works, and I'm getting pressure to start a coffee concept as well. So think of this in the future. If you come to the airport, you might see five of our machines side by side. You
I
see
was
the pizza,
That
yeah,
was literally the image that I had, just kind of like stacked.
and
What do
we're
I
the
want?
buy Apatronics, whatever Mexican concept, buy Apatronics, Donato's Pizza, buy Apatronics. So that's how we position ourselves. We partner with a brand which we feel is iconic. We know the food has to be the star. And end of the day, I keep saying we don't sell machines. We sell food. We sell the best tasting food you've ever had.
You've got the right vision for this, right? It's not, people aren't buying the box, the arm. That's
Yeah.
not it.
No.
It's already, you're just helping that brand reach the market in a different place that they might not have had access to before.
Yeah, and to add to that, between labor shortages, Columbus, Ohio has
True.
3 terminals. At 7:30 p.m., all the restaurants and all 3 terminals close for the day, and they reopen next morning at 7 a.m. Flights are landing 1 a.m. There's airport staff working 24/7. At 7:30 p.m. to the next day, we're the only game in town.
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there are obviously restaurants in the terminals. It's just that now you're giving access 24/7, as long as the machines are being, maintained and kept up. I
Exactly.
I have to imagine that the fact that you're in airports right away, business executives for their companies and their brands are seeing this. And it's like, you don't even have to advertise, in my opinion, right? I mean, they just pass through here and they've got to be thinking, wow, how can I get that? What kind of pressure are you getting as CEO to keep focused when you probably have 15, 20 different ideas coming at you every couple months?
Yeah, so we decided that we want to focus with these partners with the captive buildings where they work in, so that keeps our focus on the machine. I don't have to worry about supply chain. I don't have to worry about finding broccoli in Texas. So when we have people that are already doing this, we narrow down our focus to just the hardware and the software. And to your point, I think in our first 2 weeks of launch, we had generated over 700 million clicks on social media. This was a pretty massive amount of advertising. And to your other
Wow,
point, this is an airport.
congratulations.
Yeah. And so that opened up doors I didn't even dream about. There's people that want this in theme parks. There's people that want this in gas stations or electric car charging stations. People want this in
Oh
big
yeah.
stores. So there's all these things that we didn't even imagine to go in, but they all checked off the same thing: captive audience, 24/7 potential. And because we're, again, I will use this word only one more time in this podcast, because we're a vending machine.
Oh,
we can, we can
we're gonna put an asterisk.
yeah,
Asterisk. It's not a
yeah,
vending machine, right? It's
it's not.
just a 21st century delivery.
Yes, I have
It's
to come
got
up
a
with a new word. I have to come up with a new word.
yes.
So the best thing about a machine also is that it can be in any real estate. We don't have to be zoned as a restaurant. We don't need external HVAC systems. We can just plop our machines anywhere you want, and you have a restaurant in a box solution that's ready to go. So the flexibility of this, and also we don't sell the machines, so you don't have to go through your 5-year budget process and convince your boss that, hey, let's spend money on this machine. You don't have to do that. We're giving it for free.
Wait, say that again. It's free.
Yeah, we do a revenue share. So these
Oh,
machines,
revenue share, of course. Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Yeah, so
the
you're putting
for
your
us,
money where your mouth is too. So you know,
absolutely,
you have skin in the game because you're picking the right players in the right places. If you don't like the setup, you don't do it because you're putting your own capital into it. So that makes sense.
absolutely. And let's say we do put a machine in a place that's not high in foot traffic enough, we move it. We move it. We're not stuck.
Yeah. Can you imagine trying to move a restaurant? No, you can't do that.
Exactly. And that happens, right? The location. You have a great restaurant,
Something
but it's
changes.
half a block too far away. You're done. I mean, you
Exactly.
spend a couple of $1 million in renovations. You're done. You're toast.
That's right.
Uh,
Well, and if you're in a strip mall and you're depending upon the anchor chain, what if the anchor chain falls
yes.
out of favor?
Yes. Yeah. Too many unknowns. And,
There you
and when that does happen to us, it could happen to us. We just come one night, put it on wheels, move it to the next
go.
location.
Pizza on wheels.
Yes.
Um, this is great. I tell you, it's a horrible time to talk to you when it's at lunch. I mean, it is literally lunchtime and I'm talking to you and I want edge to edge pizza right now. It's really
Actually,
it's
if you don't have a whole lot to do middle of January, we'll be making thousands of pizzas because the second machine is going to go through its final testing mid
yeah,
January. So that's it. All we're doing is making pizzas before
great.
it's packaged to Columbus, Ohio.
I
So
just
my
need
entire
to
team, yeah, yeah, I recommend stretchy pants, by the way, because every time a pizza comes
I've
out, you're like, I've had too much, but hey, man, maybe one
hey,
more slice.
one more square.
Yeah. So we just keep eating nonstop. I'm like, guys, you don't have to eat. We can throw it. This is a
See, and this
test.
is why the
This is
podcast
good.
is like below the waist. See, where it's like it's here down,
That's right. That's right.
here down.
Yeah. So
I
yes,
tell
we
you,
eat all the pizzas.
although I do have other questions. I think this is a great stopping point though, because this is just a fantastic overview of where it is that you're heading. And I think I would love to have a follow up with you, to see how this thing has expanded because um, the inquiries I think are going to be there. I think you've got the focus, you know exactly where you want to be, which is really the key for any CEO is to know what not to chase. But I'm going to tell you what, you've made me hungry. I've got to go out and find something to eat now. How about I tell you what, use that robotic arm and send one down here to Atlanta. How about that?
Atlanta, it's a great market. The airport, a lot of
You
potential.
got a great market down here.
Yes.
You absolutely do. This was a lot of fun. I am super excited for you and your concept. It's more than a concept. This is commercialized now. I'm glad everyone gets to hear it because you and I have been talking offline. I wanted everyone to hear and get exposed to this great new concept, not vending machine. Insert better idea.
Yes.
We'll figure that out.
Restaurant in a
Great.
box.
It's a restaurant on wheels. Well,
Oh,
hey, whatever works, right?
absolutely.
Nippon, great seeing you again today, my friend. Until next time.
Likewise, Tony.